Hi, I'm Leon Lovelace, and this is Unstoppable Force. I got a news story for you. It's about the police brutality that's going on in Spain right now because we're having some a lot of economic turmoil because of their economy still isn't going really well. So let's talk about that. We have the story from the World Socialist website, and this is a response to after the police brutality about the Catalina vote that happened a couple days ago. Alright. After Sunday's brutal crackdown of the Catalan independence referendum by Spanish police and paramilitary and civil guards left over 900 people injured. Hundreds of thousands demonstrated in cities across Catalonia amidst the national work stoppage. Protest was called by Catalan separatist parties, trade unions, and business groups with the backing of the Catalan regional government. So I'll put a clip of the police brutalizing some of the voters right here. Okay, and then this is just some of the bullshit that some of us progressive will tell just a lot of other people that maybe don't quite agree with us. Is that you got to stop the police from brutalizing minorities, because if you don't stop them from brutalizing minorities, they're going to go to another minority group, then to all of a sudden they're going to brutalize the majority group. So all of a sudden now they're going to brutalize everybody, and it's hard enough to stop them from brutalizing minorities. But when they start brutalizing everybody, in a way we've lost, because it's just that much harder to fight and stop the police brutality and the government oppressing their citizens when they're oppressing everybody and not just one small group. Okay, youth, shopkeepers, and workers in various industries stayed away from work or marched in mass rallies of tens of thousands of people in Barcelona. It made clear yet again that the police's failure to shut down the referendum last Sunday had technical difficulties. Okay. Amid a mass mobilization of the Catalan population reflected broad popular opposition to authoritarian forms of rule. Tens of thousands protested in Barcelona throughout the day in front of the headquarters in the region of the ruling Popular Party. The National Police and the Civil Guards were chants up. The streets will always be ours. Outside Barcelona, thousands filled the main squares of towns and cities throughout Catalonia. Pickets blocked 57 roads and many small businesses closed. Almost all schools were closed as students stayed away. 75% of public health workers did not go to work, according to the Catalan Health Ministry. Dock workers closed down the ports of Barcelona and Tarragona. The agricultural sector was inactive during the day, and the rice farmers of Ebro Delta interrupted the harvest. Catalonia's main cultural institutions, the National Theatre of Catalonia, the National Art Museum of Catalonia, or the Arteno Barcelones, were closed. Barcelona's main monuments, including the Sagrada Familia, La Pedrera, and the Museum of FC Barcelona, also closed. Workers at Mercabarna, Barcelona's main food trading estate overseeing wholesale markets supplying over 10 million people, also went on strike. At the Nissan car factory, 70% of the auto workers went on strike, forcing the factory to shut down. Also, this is really positive news because the people really responded to the brutality, so they're really striking and trying to tell the Spanish government that they're not putting up with this, because frankly, us Americans here don't really fight our government enough, because yeah, we want to talk about, we We want to talk about, oh, our government's corrupt, so let's vote in all these politicians that say they're anti-government. But when it comes to actually trying to disrupt some of the, when it comes to actually protesting and actually getting in the way of businesses and government doing their normal operations, us Americans aren't quite so revolutionary in that sense. So we need to take some lessons from the Spanish and a lot of other European people and just start doing a lot more strikes and a lot more protesting, because it's really going to take that. Just voting in different politicians is not going to have the same effect as protesting governments and our current social rule as it is right now. Nonetheless, the organizers of the protest did not want a full work stoppage in Catalonia, let alone across all of Spain. The regional government kept up a minimum service in the Barcelona metro for part of the day. CIT, the car manufacturer and the largest employer in Catalonia, operated normally, as did the petrochemical companies. No major disruptions affected Barcelona's airport. These protests have shown the deep-rooted opposition and broad layers of the population against mass repression and authoritarianism. However, the most urgent warnings must be made. These forms of protest do nothing to halt the next waves of repression being prepared by the entire Spanish ruling class. This requires the mobilization of the working class throughout all of Spain and across Europe and struggle against the danger of police rule state. As the international community of the Fourth International explained in its statement of the Catalan referendum, the only viable policy against the danger of war and dictatorship is to fight to unify the working class in Spain and Europe in a struggle against capitalism and for the socialist reorganization of society. This can be carried out only in revolutionary struggle against all of Spain's Brigandois factions. So capitalism is not the friend of the masses, either in the United States, in Spain, or anywhere else. So the people really need to look out and make sure that they hold the government and especially the corporations accountable, because corporations will fight to screw you in the ass and make sure you're as poor as they can make you so they could keep all their money for themselves and all the profits that that company or that corporation makes for themselves. The main danger facing workers and youth in Catalonia is that yesterday's protest was organized by forces who defend the existing social order. They are both incapable of and hostile to mobilizing the working class and political struggle against the Spanish Brigandois, of which they are in fact a part. So that's a little disappointing to hear that fact, but what needs to happen going forward is a different group or another individual that actually wants to mobilize the entire Spanish working class needs to come forth and take over this movement and push towards making their society a more socialist society, so it's more equitable for everybody, especially the poor and the working class. Because, like I said, if the same group keeps leading this movement, all of a sudden they're gonna start backpedaling a little bit and not pushing for as many reforms as is needed in Spain. Alright, so thanks for watching.